me show you how to do these letters that light up for your church stage. So we're hanging out behind the church, cutting out our letters. Here we already got one H done, which we pushed the easy button because we already had an H from another project. So we just used that same H, traced it out. And I think what we're going here, this is a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet. That's what it was anyway. We cut this to a 6 foot. So we're going 4 foot by 6 foot because we think that our stage will look better with a 6 foot compared to say a 4 by 4. But we're using 1/2 inch plywood, untreated. We actually already had 3 sheets ourselves in this building that we didn't know about. So yay us, because that saved us about $200. So we only had to buy 1 sheet because we're doing 4 letters. So once again, you just trace out your letters however you want them. Of course, we were fortunate enough to have an H. We cut this one out. I'm going to trace this one out. Use a skill saw to cut it. All right, so we have our 2 H's cut out right there. Those were simple, easy. Now, doing the W. Now, the W is a little tricky, and here's what I've done. I'm not a geometry major, and to be honest with you, I barely passed the class. But nonetheless, I'm just kind of tried this. I thought I would just pass this bit of information on to you. All right, 4 foot wide, 6 foot long. What I've done is I'm trying to keep my W one foot, basically, you know, each, like this leg here and this leg going that way 1 foot. So let me show you. So I come in 6 inches and then I marked a line to the corner up there. All right, so I've got that angle going on here. I came over 1 foot and I went over 1 foot from the corner up there. Okay, I don't know if you can see this line right here. So that's 1 foot from the 6 inches, so it's 1.5 feet in. And then up there, it's 1 foot from the corner, okay? Now I did the same thing over here. Came in 6 inches, took that one to that corner, come in 1 foot from that, and then went up to where it's 1 foot from the corner. So once again, it's 1.5 right here from this corner, 1 foot from that corner. And then to catch the angle on the inside, because I'm just going to have a one straight flat W. That's what I'm planning on anyway. We're going to see how this looks when we cut it. So right here is I come in on this leg 6 inches. I marked the center of the board, okay? So in from this one, and I marked a line from here up, and that's 6 inches from the center to that side. Okay, so let me say this again. I marked the center of the board. I came in from the inside of my bigger leg, 6 inches, and then I put the straight edge down there, which is this board, and then I went 6 inches to the right of center, and I marked that. So my cut should be right here, and of course it meets in the center right there. Same thing over here. I came in 6 inches from the inside of the big leg, and then I marked 6 inches from the center up there, and then I put my board down, and of course then I drew my line all the way up, and it meets in the center right there. So this should work. I'm planning on leaving it straight down here with no anything down here, but I might come back. We'll see how it looks after I get this cut. Okay, it's cut. And after I cut it, I realized that it definitely has to have this cut down here. So like before, it kind of looked like maybe a crayon or something. So anyway, this is, I don't know if it's accurate, but hey, I'm going with it. What I did was the center of the line, the center of the board was right here, and I just did 6 inches, 3 on each side of the center, and then cut it at that angle, meeting at the center. It's not the same angle, I don't believe, as that, but you know what? We're gonna go with it. So I'm gonna sand this down and move on to Y. So here's our board for our Y. Now, I wished I'd have paid attention in geometry a little bit more, but hey, there's a way to figure this out. So I found, this is how I'm doing it. So I found the center of the board, 2 foot over, because this is a 4 foot by 6 foot board, just like the other ones. I want this one to be 1 foot wide, my leg on my Y. So I'm going 6 inches from both sides, you know, 1 foot in the center. And I did that all the way up. So I had my true center, you know, and I went ahead and did my leg. Even though I'm not cutting those all the way up, I still did it because it comes in handy when you're measuring off of that. So the next thing that I did, just so that I can keep the angle, is that I drew a line from corner to corner, and then from corner to corner here. And then to keep it a foot, because remember I'm making the leg a foot, I came off of this a foot and came down there. Now, if you could be careful, you know, what I did was took my tape measure, which is right here, and took it and went a foot until it met the corner, and then marked it. And I did this side a foot in from the corner, and then I just did a line right there. Did the same thing on this other side, you know. So, and just to make sure that I was right, I went ahead from the corner and measured this up, and for me that came out to 1 foot 9 3/4, and it came out the same on the other side. So I know that I'm good as far as that, because no matter what you do, you can do it however you want to do it, you know, keeping that same angle so that your Y, or whatever letter you're making, is, you know, accurate, the same on both sides. So now I went ahead and marked it. This piece is coming out. This piece right here is coming out, and this piece is coming out. And we should have ourselves a Y. Well, they're officially cut. Very pleased with them. You can tell which one was the new board and which one was the old ones, but it doesn't matter because we're going to paint them. So we decided to take a little off of the H's, 6 inches on each side, so that it would be a foot, so it would match the other ones, because when you set them side by side, it looked rather large compared to the other ones. Now it matches. So now on to priming, painting, and attaching the lights to the back and mounting them on the wall. Well, they're officially painted now. Now that they're painted though, and we're still waiting on them to dry a little bit, cut these, what I'm going to call spacers out. I'm just using scrap lumber because we did 1/2 inch plywood, and so we had some scraps, and so I just cut some, you know, like 4x6 or something like that, or 4x4 pieces. We're going to be putting those on the back of these letters because we want some spacing between the wall and the letters, because we have the lights that are going on. We don't want it to be too far from the wall, at least in my mind, but we don't want it to be right on the wall. So these work out great, 1/2 inch thick. We're just going to put these strategically back here where they can't be seen, and then take some brad nails or something. You know, it's only going to be 1 inch thick, so chances are we're going to use what we have, and the shortest brad nail I have is 2 inches. So if we use brad nails, we're just going to bend them over on the back side, and of course once they go on the wall, you're not going to see it. So that's the idea. We'll see how it works out. All right, so we have our letters out here. The paint's dry, the whole 9 yards. You can see better now, these 1/2 inch spacers that we put on. Little sloppy looking because we're just using what we had. There was a 2 inch brad nail, so we're just bending them down. But once we get them up on the wall, I don't think, you know, you'll be able to tell any of that stuff. But now what we're doing now though is we're putting our LED tape light on the back. We got these off Amazon, $18 for a 60-some foot roll. Changes colors, you can change the brightness. It's got this controller, but it also has the ability to download the app and control it from the app. But kind of cool because we can change colors each week if we want to, as long as it looks all right. But the idea is we're going to tape this on the outer edge and then hang it up so that the light is indirect on the back. So we've got a roll for, well, probably more than enough than what we really need, but we've got 4 boxes of these. Now you can get these at Walmart, but it's a better deal on Amazon. So I'll put the link to that in the comments below so that you can check that out. So let's get started. All right, so we're working on the letters as far as this the tape light. Now this is how we're doing it. Each box comes, the ones that we bought, comes with 2 reels like that right there, and then a remote as well. And what you do is you have your initial reel of tape light, and you hook it into this, and then on your second one, you're just gonna hook. It's got that tip on it, and you just hook it in. It's pretty simple. This includes a double-sided tape, so we are definitely using this to put there because we're going to be hanging, you know, this, so we don't want it dangling out. And of course we have these spacers in there, so we should be good to go. And then of course you plug it in. And so challenge, it depends on your stage or where you're putting these, you know, you got to have a power source somewhere. You may have to use an extension cord. We've bought some black extension cords for this. But either way, this is the W, this is 4 foot by 6 foot. So, and it 2 strands, 60 some feet, basically went around this twice. And so now we're gonna hang them up. Well, they are officially up and very satisfied. Right now the lights are on, so the dimmer those lights get, the more, you know, prevalent those tape lights become on this, and you can change the color as well. So there's, I don't know how many, probably 20 different colors on those lights, and they have little remote controls, you know, and you can download the app and the whole 9 yards. But let me show you a little bit what we did. Now the challenge here with letters is finding studs. So we decided we were gonna go 2 foot up from the floor, and then our letters are 6 foot. So we just found the studs and went ahead and put screws all the way through into the studs. And of course our spacers keep it from going completely against the wall, as you can see. And that way the lights, you know, you can see them. It's not pressing against the wall. So the challenge is finding the studs and, you know, finding a place in the letters to be able to screw those in. And then we just went back over those screws and just touched them up with a little bit of paint. The same color, obviously, that we used on the letters. So let me show you a little bit of what it looks like when the light's dim and dark. All right, so here we are, full light. Now we're gonna dim them down so you can see. And this may be more like a Sunday morning. Depends on, you know, we're a little brighter than this, but you can see how they definitely begin to show up. But now we're gonna go dark and show you what that looks like. So this is really cool. We don't do church in the dark, but if you're creative and you're thinking of some things that you wanna do, I mean, this would definitely be a great way to do it for not a lot of money. And Yahweh, let Yahweh shine from the stage. I never think that we should stop being creative. Church folks should be even more creative than anybody. And it is, our Creator is a creative creator, and He created us creative in His image. But this may be a great idea for your next project, but hopefully this inspires you to do that.